a good game to come back to. I know you guys are already looking ahead to Hawaii, but what do you think you'll remember the most about that comeback?
Man, honestly, just being in disbelief. Like I remember, I was just standing on the bench as everything's going down, as Jake's making a couple of those drives, and I mean, just crucial plays down the stretch, just people executing and stuff. So, I mean, that was one of my fondest memories of that night. Is just I was standing on the bench as Jake drives down. I was like, okay, we still got a chance. And I told Braylon actually, I was right before we scored, I said we're gonna score, get the 2-point, and then we're gonna get this onside kick. He kind of looked at me like, yeah, all right. And then it just happened all so fast. Jake threw the next pass, we go and score again, and everybody's running around, going crazy, and I'm just standing on the bench like, there's no way this just happened. But yeah, that moment, I was just in disbelief, and then we had to come out and execute on the defensive side. We got that pick, and that actually is one of my best memories too, is Carlton running down, and I'm running to the student section just holding my hands up like, can you even believe it? Like, it was just a crazy experience, something I'll remember forever.
Is there anything you want to say about Carlton and what he's gone through to have that moment at the end of the game?
Oh yeah, I mean, we've gone through rehab together. I mean, being on that hill, just, you know how difficult it is. I mean, I do firsthand, you know, going through an injury and having to rehab, you have those ups and downs. Every day there's gonna be your setbacks. People think that rehab is a constant uptick, but in reality there's days where you're not satisfied with your progress and it's tough, and there's other days where you do really well. And I've seen him progress every day and have those constant setbacks and just push through them. So to see him come get one of his first opportunities in the game, I mean, I've always been talking with him how badly I want to play with him, just be on the field with him, just because how stand-up of a guy he is. I mean, just a great guy, so passionate about the game, and for him to get that first opportunity and make the most of it, I couldn't be more proud.
How was the last month for you, sitting out, watching this team play? I mean, I know you traveled to a couple of games, but from the USC game until last Saturday, what was that stretch like for you?
I mean, it was tough. There's periods of frustration, you know. You just want so badly to just have some impact on your team, even if you're not able to go out there. I remember the first game against UConn, I wasn't able to travel, and you're kind of just sitting at home, and yeah, the lack of impact that you can make on the team, and you just feel, I mean, like it's out of your control, and you can't do anything about what's going on. That kind of sucks from a standpoint, but I also use that as motivation to get back, you know, to put in time and just dive into the work, and that really helped me. Just putting my head down and doing my utmost to get back and to help the team. And I was able to go to a couple of the games and be a coach on the sideline, kind of. And I don't know, I was anxious. I was telling my guys whenever I was on the sideline, I couldn't find a way to get any of my energy out, because like I'm normally used to, I don't know, getting a hit in and then I'm loose, but man, I had anxiety the whole game. I'm pacing up and down the sideline, so that was an experience I hope I don't have to relive, but yeah, it just feels great to be back and finally be able to help this team again.
Was your initial timeline longer, and how did you manage to get on the field so quickly?
Man, I mean, honestly, it's a huge shout out to the medical staff. I mean, just for investing the time and helping me out. It was about the time range when I was expected to come back. I think it was like 4 to 8 was kind of the range. I mean, leaning towards the ender. I mean, the later stage of that, so probably like 6 to 8. And I think I made it back in 6. So, I mean, yeah, as I said, the medical staff, I mean, they helped me tremendously, and made sure that I was getting working every day and just staying dedicated to that craft. You know, it's, as I said, it's tough and sometimes frustrating, but to have those people on your side, motivating you every day to help you to come back, and just having that group of people surrounding you during that time definitely helped me and motivated me to do my utmost to help this team.
You had no issues playing on Saturday, like you had mobility?
I could do one more. Oh, but what was the last question?
Full mobility, you had no problem playing on Saturday, you feel fully healthy?
Oh yeah, I was good. Honestly, I felt great. Like I try to, whenever I'm on the field, I don't like thinking about anything. Like I don't want to have to think about an injury or something on my body. I want to just play loose and freely, and that's how I felt, honestly. I feel like I still have ways to progress. Just watching film again, I feel like I could get a step faster, gain a step, and I'll be working in the weight room and stuff out here and just try to build on those full speed reps. But no, I felt good and just looking to improve on that this game. Absolutely.
Thanks, sir. Walk us through that onside kick sequence and your
Yeah,
confidence in
man.
pulling it off.
Yeah, so what started that, well, I mean, coming down to it, I knew that was a possibility going into that last couple of minutes of that game, you know, so we got to that moment. They called that onside kick, so I knew it was going to happen. I had a whole bunch of the boys coming up to me telling me, just give them a chance, give them a chance. And I was just hoping I can do the best I can, fill that spot, you know. I mean, you only get one of those shots, so I mean, and then we got out there, and I did exactly that, put enough pace on it, got right past number 14, and we couldn't ask for a surreal moment like that. I mean, it was just the best moment we could have had right there that time.
Is that like a style of kick that you're comfortable with? How often has that converted for you?
Yeah, I mean, so at practice, we always work on our specialty kicks for a good amount of time throughout our day. And going into that kick, I was pretty comfortable. So, I mean, and I got out there and just got to hit in the right spot to do the right thing, and that's exactly what happened.
Could you just, like the odds of, the odds of successfully completing an onside kick are very small, right? What was going through your mind when you were lining up for that? Like, we know, obviously, what the end result is, and we know what you were hoping to have happen, but realistically, did you expect that the team was going to get it? Like, if you could kind of just take us through that.
Of course, yeah. I mean, chances of an onside kick really happening is very low, but I mean, there's always something for a right time and the right moment, and I feel like that was just the right time and the right moment. And for us, I mean, Zane Pope had an amazing game, and I feel like nothing could have went better for him at that right time. And I mean, that was just kind of a cherry on top.
I'm sure after the game, Dylan, your phone was blowing up. Who's the first person that reached out to you, the first person that you remember seeing a text from or a phone call from?
Most definitely my family. My dad was at the game. My mom was calling me, and she was with family back home. And I mean, it was a great moment just for them to be able to see something like that happen for me.
What did Coach Tedford say to you after the game?
Oh, I mean, they were happy. I mean, there's always more we can work on. The game went a little sideways at some parts, but I mean, I feel like that right there was just a great something for that to happen.
Growing up in Bakersfield, did you go to Fresno State games? What does it mean to you to kind of have your name now etched in Bulldog history?
Yeah, so I mean, growing up an hour and a half from here, I mean, it was a great time. I mean, I came up to a couple games before, never really honestly looked into them until high school. I was always soccer. And I mean, so growing up in this town, it's cool.
How did you end up here then?
So it was kind of a long story, but I had my kicking coach back home played for Coach Baxter, and they got into contact, and then Coach Baxter reached out to me, and it kind of went from there.
Gotcha. So Fresno State was on your radar beginning, I think you said your senior year then?
Yeah.
Gotcha. The fact that you are a Bulldog now, right? I mean, there are a lot of Bulldog fans in Bakersfield. Do you feel like you've helped connect these communities?
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like a lot of my family and friends have definitely looked more into Fresno ever since I've came here. It's definitely a spot for us now.
What's the strategy on an onside kick, right? Because you try and kick the top of the ball, right?
Of course, yeah. So when you're kicking an onside kick, you want to kick the top of the ball, and then if you kick it at the right spot, it should take 2 bounces and pop like it did in the game, and it's exactly what happened.
Cool. Awesome.
Prior to the fourth quarter, but can you walk us through maybe the emotions and things that you had before that comeback started? Like, what was the dialogue on the sidelines?
Yeah, I mean, I think there were, we got hit with, quite a few waves of adversity, and, things weren't necessarily going our way, and, that's always tough to deal with and tough to handle, but, in this game you got to have a short-term memory, and, short-term memory will do you wonders, as an example of what happened Saturday. So, I think just being able to maintain a short-term memory was a huge component, not only for myself, but everybody on the team, everybody in the program, the coaches, and, just a constant belief in who we are and our preparation and ultimately just that we're going to get the job done. So.
Did you see the analytics afterwards that the Aztecs had a 98.7% chance of
winning
the game?
Oh yeah. No, they put it up the next day in meeting, so we got to see that. But really, it's just it's constantly believing in yourself and the work you've put in, and the program that you're invested in and your brothers around you. So.
The camera showed a lot of emotion from you after scoring that game-winning touchdown. What was kind of going through you, or why did that mean so much?
Yeah, I mean, I think those are just, those are the plays right there that you always dream about. When you're playing backyard football as a kid, you're counting down the clock, fourth down, third down, whatever it is. And, so those are just the plays that, it's kind of your preparation and all your hard work coming into fruition. And, I think to have moments like that are so special as a player. And, it's definitely a moment that I'll remember for the rest of my life. So.
You talked about the belief. How much of that came from your quarterback, Jake Haener, coming back to the fold?
Yeah, I mean, I think Jake being back definitely helps. But I think above everything, it's just belief in your preparation and the team's preparation. And, I think it's easy to pick individual players out. And, I'm not discrediting anything that Jake did, because I think it's very, apparent the impact that he has on this team and this program. But, I think collectively as a whole, there was a lot of hidden plays that people aren't going to recognize, that people aren't going to see. And, it's really just a lot of those little things that add up and fuel big wins like we had Saturday.
This program has had big wins, but then also kind of like big letdowns coming down the roller coaster. How do you guys avoid that come Saturday against Hawaii?
Yeah, I mean, I think regardless of the outcome, our approach is always the same. And, this game is uncertain. There's a lot of unknown. There's a lot of unexpected adversity that comes your way. And, ultimately you can only prepare and do your job at its highest level and compete at the highest level and, come in with the right mindset, the right attitude. And, really those are the things that are within your control. The outcome is sometimes out of our control. And I think when you worry too much about that, you lose sight of what's important.
Yeah, so you were named the Palmer Name Player of the Week.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
So just talk about the team kind of getting recognition after going through such a tough 4 weeks of adversity.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. It's definitely well deserved. I'm going to be that guy, but ultimately it's on to the next. And we have the 24-hour rule, and we lived that thoroughly, and we're on to the next. So it's great to receive that recognition, but I'm just excited for the next opportunity.
Last question on the celebration. Do you remember any specific conversations or moments with either teammates or coaches?
Man, I think in a moment so hectic and big like that, you kind of everything just gets blurry, and you just remember the feelings. You don't really remember what you're seeing or what you're hearing, but it's just the feelings and emotions, and that's really what overwhelms you and the things that you remember years down the line.
And do you remember looking up at how many fans kind of stuck around? What would your message be to those that did stay?
Oh man, your loyalty and support is much appreciated, and those are the real ones. So I think it's easy to be a fan when things are going well, and everybody wants to be a part of it when things are going well. And obviously things weren't going our way, but I think the true supporters, the true fans who are with us, day in and day out through the ups and downs are, there's no words to thank them and show our appreciation for them. So.
What did it mean to you, given your journey to get back on the field? Let's start there.
Journey to get back on the field, just to get back on the field mean a lot for me. It was a long 6-7 weeks. The way I injured myself was a little bit unconditional, a little bit different, but it was just for me the help of the team, the players around me, the coaches. They just told me just stay in it, stay in tune, and God is good, because, yeah, God is good.
Is it true you dropped a weight on your foot?
Yeah. So I didn't have an on-field injury, sadly. Kind of hurt myself in a different way, what most do. Yeah, I dropped the weight on my foot. Sad to say.
Was it at least a heavy weight? It wasn't like a 5-pound weight, right? It had to have been heavy.
Yeah, it was a heavy weight, and then the bar hit too. So I got in kind of double action. Yeah, it was pretty heavy.
So talking about your journey back, what did it mean to you to get that interception, to end the game and send your team basically going nuts?
Well, yeah, the interception didn't mean as much as me playing with the boys again. 'Cause honestly, it was just for me. It was was amazing to see the support from the team and the secondary itself. The guys around me were just helping me because it was very unexpected for me to play that day. And I did get my number called. And for me to even help the team make a play was just amazing.
Do you remember any message the coaches gave you kind of before sending you out on the field?
Yeah, Coach JD told me lock in. He just kept telling me lock in, lock in, lock in. Yeah. So basically for me, they were just trying to get my focus to be on point. And after that, you just got to go out there and play ball.
You got hurt in August, and just about a week before the game, get back, from my understanding. Just how comfortable were you, or even with the defense and the chemistry with the team at that point?
Oh, yeah. So being with the team, I was with the team all year. I didn't actually leave their side. I went to every meeting, stayed in tune. And that's why I said with the coaching staff, they let me know that early on to stay in tune and don't miss nothing, and paid off. Not missing nothing.
How were you feeling in camp to that point? Did you feel like you were on the verge of playing time before the injury?
Oh, yeah, no doubts. I'm always going to stay positive. No matter where you're at on the depth chart, you just keep working, and you never know what's going to happen.
You said that interception wasn't as big of a deal to you as actually getting back on the field, but at the end of the game, that sealed the win for the Bulldogs. So looking back on it, knowing how big of a play that was, and it was a play that you made in your first game action, I mean, smile on your face, reaction from your teammates, from your family, I mean, there's got to be something there, right?
Oh, of course, of course. Yeah, let me say, Dylan, Pope, and then Jake and Nico won that game right there. All I did was just put a little period on it. I didn't really do too much. They did all the hard work. I just finished it off for them.
Is that what they're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Can you share what Coach JD told you when you came off and you guys embraced to celebrate?
Yeah, he actually, Coach JD actually gave me a hug, and he just told me he was so proud of me because it was a long time being off, and then for me to be able to stay focused through all that time, he just let me know how proud of me he was, and then there's more to come.
I saw Coach Tedford track you down and give you a hug too. What did he say?
Coach Teddy, that was a little bit unusual for me. I don't really see too much emotion from Coach Teddy. You know, pretty straightforward guy, get the job done. But yeah, for him to actually come over and embrace me a little bit, it really put a smile on my face too right there, getting some embracement from the head man.